In a room full of people screaming for attention, who do you think is the most powerful? Is it the loudest, the one with the flashiest clothes? Or is it the one in the corner, saying nothing, just watching? We live in the age of the digital exhibitionist. If you didn't post it, it didn't happen, right? Your vacation, your new car, your perfect morning coffee, it all has to be documented and broadcast for the world to see. But then there are the ghosts. You've seen them, the people with blank profiles. 0 posts, no stories, maybe a default profile picture. To the average person scrolling through their feed, these people seem invisible, maybe even a little bit boring. What do they even do with their time? Psychologists, however, suggest that this silence isn't an absence of life. It's a massive signal of power. Their choice to stay offline isn't random. It's a calculated psychological stance known as countersignaling, and once you understand why they stay hidden, you will never look at social media the same way again. This is the real psychology of the invisible. To understand the ghost, we first need to understand ourselves. Most people on social media are trapped in what psychologists call an external locus of control. This is a core concept developed by Julian Rotter, and it's all about where you believe the power in your life comes from. Does it come from inside you, or from outside forces? If you post a selfie and then spend the next hour anxiously refreshing the page, waiting for likes and comments to validate your new outfit, your locus of control is external. You've essentially outsourced your self-esteem to an algorithm and the opinions of hundreds of people you barely know. Your happiness depends on their approval. The validation feels good, but it's a fleeting high, and it leaves you needing another fix. The ghost, on the other hand, operates from a completely different place, an internal locus of control. They don't need an audience to confirm they're happy, successful, or attractive. They know it. They grade themselves on their own internal rubric. Their validation comes from their own achievements, their own experiences, their own self-worth. In psychology, there's a fascinating principle. The less you feel the need to prove something, the more true it usually is. True confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to shout. This leads us to another powerful idea from evolutionary biology called costly signaling theory. It's simple. Animals and humans use signals to show off their best qualities. A peacock grows a huge, beautiful tail, which is very costly in terms of energy. It's basically shouting, "Look how healthy and strong I am. I can afford to waste resources on this magnificent display." In the human world, an influencer might rent a Ferrari for a day to post pictures and signal that they're rich and successful. They're spending money to prove they have money. But here's where it gets really interesting. The most high-status individuals often do the exact opposite. They engage in what's called countersignaling. They are so secure in their status that they can afford to look plain. Think of a billionaire who wears a simple t-shirt and jeans. They don't need a Gucci belt to prove their wealth. Everyone already knows. Their lack of signaling is, in itself, the most powerful signal. Now, let's apply this to social media. The person who constantly posts about their amazing relationship, with endless couple selfies and gushing captions, might be signaling. They're creating a performance of love. But the person who rarely posts about their partner, they're often the one who's most secure in their relationship. They're not busy curating an advertisement for their love. They're just in love. They're prioritizing the asset, the relationship itself, not the ad. The non-poster isn't antisocial. They're selectively social. They're investing their energy into the real thing, not the digital echo. There's a famous concept from the French philosopher Michel Foucault called the Panopticon. He described it as a type of prison design where a single guard can observe all the inmates without them knowing if they're being watched at any given moment. The result? The inmates behave perfectly all the time because they feel like they're under constant surveillance. Social media is our digital panopticon. When you constantly post, you are voluntarily stepping into a cell. You start living your life through the lens of, how will this look to others? Is this picture Instagram worthy? Is this story interesting enough? You become your own guard and your own prisoner, constantly policing your own behavior for a faceless audience. The non-poster has broken out of this prison. They've found the key and walked away. They're not experiencing FOMO, the fear of missing out. Instead, they're living in JOMO, the joy of missing out. They're happy to miss the endless scroll of curated perfection because they're too busy being present in their own, unedited reality. They're in the territory, not staring at the map. This freedom from the Digital Panopticon allows for incredible things. It allows for deep work, the kind of focused concentration that's impossible when your phone is buzzing every 2 minutes. It allows for profound introspection and a level of mental clarity that you just can't achieve when you're constantly performing for an audience. They have more time, more mental energy, and more authentic connections. So, the next time you stumble upon a profile with 0 posts and a generic avatar, resist the urge to assume they're boring or have nothing going on. Challenge that assumption. Instead, consider that they might be too busy living a life that's too good to pause and photograph. They're not avoiding life, they're embracing it so fully that they don't have time to document it. They have mastered the art of privacy in a world that demands publicity. They have chosen reality over representation. But, and this is very important, there is a dark side to this silence. Sometimes, a blank profile isn't a sign of confidence. Sometimes, it's a sign of isolation. Sometimes, the silence isn't peaceful solitude, it's painful loneliness. A person might not be posting because they genuinely feel they have nothing to share, or worse, no one to share it with. This isn't a power move, it's a cry for help that goes unheard because it's silent. Understanding the difference between empowered solitude and harmful isolation is crucial. One is a choice that leads to strength, the other is a condition that can lead to despair. And knowing the danger signs, both in ourselves and in others, is a skill we all need in this digital age. To understand those critical warning signs and learn how to tell the difference between healthy privacy and dangerous isolation, you need to watch this video right here. Thank you for watching.